Okay, let's go ahead and get started, you guys. After I figure out my thing here. Okay. All right. So, if you guys could please put your video, laptops or phones on mute, please. Everyone on mute, please. Marianne, can you mute? Naomi, can you mute on your iPad? Okay. All right. I think we're good to go. Thanks, you guys. Hi, Brandy. I see you now. If you can figure out how to mute, that would be great.
Me?
Yeah. Hey, Whit, will you go ahead and mute for the time being? I still hear a noise. It's Marianne. Marianne unmuted herself. Marianne, can you try and mute yourself again? It unmuted. Marianne, can you hear me? Marianne, can you hear me? Okay. There we go. Thank you. Okay. All right, you guys. First of all, I want to thank you for being here tonight. We've got 2 teams that are here tonight. I know there's a bunch missing, but there's a lot of people here, and I'm really, really excited about that. We've got, for those of you who don't know me, by the way, my name is Marcel. I am the founder of Team Fit for Life. And Whitney's actually my upline coach. So we are bringing Team Fit for Life and Team Rising Up together tonight. Whitney and I have known each other for years. We used to work together in real estate, had very similar backgrounds, both in real estate, both had young kids, and she started this, yes, it's recording, Whit, and started this whole coaching thing, and I kind of saw what she was doing and wanted to be a part of it. And so here we are together, and we've been to Summit together. We've been to Cancun together, all from Beachbody and the trips that we were awarded for being kick-ass coaches, if you will. But we're bringing our teams together tonight. I'm really excited because there's something that we want to talk about, and it's about building your team. I know that's why, you know, you guys are here. You want to build that dream team. You want to have your own fit community, your fit family, if you will. And so we're going to talk a little bit about why should you do that. We're also going to talk a little bit about how you should approach people, because I think there's a lot of fear that goes along with that. And then we're also going to talk about I'm drawing a blank at my own call. And we're also going to talk about leading your own team. There we go. I'm not really a notes person, so I'm winging it here. And we're going to talk about building and leading your own team, and really taking control of that, being the CEO of your own business here. So I wanted to make just one quick announcement here, and then I'll go over the agenda real quick. So bear with me as I share my screen. Okay, Whit, can you see that? Okay, perfect. All right, so building and leading your team. So our agenda real quick, I switched up a couple bullet points here, but first we're going to go over announcements real quick. I have one quick one here, and then Whitney's going to start us off a little bit with a little intro, and then like I said, we're going to go into why building a team, how to approach people, how to lead, and then what not to do. And then for those of you who want to stick around, we're also going to do a little Q&A. I've had a request from a couple of coaches. We try to keep our team calls to about 30 to 40 minutes because there are a lot of people on the East Coast, and we're trying to be respectful of their time. So for those of you who do want to stick around for Q&A, feel free. If not, this will be recorded. Okay, so first announcement, I just want to say congratulations to Sarah Pierce. She is our newest Emerald coach. And she went Emerald last Thursday, and this is our first team call in 2 weeks. And so I wanted to say congratulations to Sarah. She has had a phenomenal transformation, and her and I have known each other for years as well in a previous job. And so I just want to say congratulations to you, Sarah. You might be on here. I can't see everyone's faces right now, but she's done some really, really hard work, not only physically, but also in building her business. And I am so excited for this lady. So, okay, real quick, what's new? I don't know if you guys heard, but this is going to be the most awesome Success Club reward to date. If you hit Success Club 5 or more this month, you are going to earn a P90X, P90X2, P90X3 bundle package valued at almost $300, you guys. I'm going to tell you, I've gotten t-shirts, I've gotten bags, I've gotten umbrellas, or whatever, all the stuff that we get, but this is by far the coolest prize. So now you have more incentive to actually hit Success Club. Not only are you going to be hitting a goal that you're setting for yourself, your non-negotiable goal that I know all of you guys have, but you're also going to be building momentum with your business. You are going to be bringing more people into your network, and icing on the cake is you get a Tony Horton workout, my secret boyfriend. So awesome. I'm so excited about that one. And for those of you, I know there's several of you on my team that have already hit Success Club 5 and 10 and above. So it's coming your way. I'm excited. September challenge packs, PIO 140, PIO Kickstart. For those of you who are maybe a little newer and you aren't quite sure what that is, the Kickstart is actually a PIO 3-day refresh and Shakeology, which is a fantastic opportunity for people who really are starting from scratch and really need that extra cleanse to start off with. And then, of course, we have the 3-day refresh and the Shakeology pack. So this is really good for people who kind of need to start fresh from their nutrition and maybe want to ease into the nutrition part before they get into some sort of physical workout. So keep those in mind as you're talking with your folks throughout the month. There's lots of great specials. And I'm going to go ahead and take it off share for a second. I'm going to pass it on to Whitney.
Okay, let me first start with Marcel's really good at giving recognition, but I want to recognize Marcel because she is a Success Club 10 All-Star. That means that she has hit Success Club 10 or more for 12 consecutive months in a row. So I just want to tell her congratulations because it's a really big deal. And that means that every month she's just continuing to help more and more people and establishing herself as a rock star coach or a badass coach, like she was saying. And I think it's really exciting. So I just wanted to tell her congratulations. So now let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Marcel, can you see that? Okay. So we just wanted to start off with why you should build a team and if your fears are holding you back. When I got started, to be honest, it was not with the intentions of building the business. So when I kind of went down that road, my fear held me back a lot of what people would think or who I was going to invite and what I wanted for my business. So I just wanted to point out some really awesome things that come along with building your team and why you should do it. There is nothing better than surrounding yourself with a group of like-minded people who have the same goals and ambitions in their life, people who are looking to get healthy financially and physically. You are the sum of the top 5 people you surround yourself with. I've heard that saying, I can't even tell you how many times, but when I started this business and I really looked around at those top 5 people, no offense to them, but I needed to make a change. And for me, it was a gut check, a reality check that I really needed to look around and see if I was making sure it was people who are pushing me further in my personal life and my business life. And that really made me stop and think about who I wanted on my team or who I wanted to surround myself with, people in challenge groups. And again, the more personal development that you do, the more you really focus on your goals and what you want out of life, that will really make you look twice at the people that you surround yourself with and how they are encouraging you or holding you back in your life. So I can't stress how important that is because it made all the difference for me when I had to make big changes, to be honest. I won't even go in that story because we could be here all night, but it was a really big change for me, but it made all the difference for myself. Another amazing reason to build your business is the financial freedom, your cycle bonuses. That is the #1 way as coaches that we can make an income in this business. And the way that you do that is by growing your team. And not only just adding people to your team, you have to help them grow. Be there for them when they have questions, and share with them what you're doing as a coach. And not only will that benefit them, it will benefit you. But one of the biggest things that I can say is, for a long time, I built this business by myself. When Marcel joined me, to be honest, it was a breath of fresh air to have somebody again who was like-minded and who was going for the same goals. But I was seeing success with the business, and I was making an income, and it was slowly growing. And as exciting as that is, I did not want to do this alone. And when Marcel started doing it and she started seeing that same success, it seriously is the best feeling in the world, because it's really exciting for me to make that change and see all that happen in my own life, but to see that a decision that you made is now affecting somebody else in a positive way, whether it be a challenger seeing results or a coach on your team seeing results. I mean, there's no better feeling than experiencing that with somebody else, and knowing that you played a part in that. Helping others getting started, changing their future. Again, I just kind of touched on that. Whether it be a challenger and they come to you, a lot of times they come to you very vulnerable, and they're sharing their weaknesses and places in their life that they struggle, and you get to help them with that. You get to be their own personal cheerleader. You get to motivate them. You get to be that shoulder to cry on. You get to be all of that for somebody. And again, I'll take it back to myself. When I started, I had started and quit at least 3 or 4 times. And when I joined my first challenge group, that was, it was kind of that missing piece for me. I saw all these other people who were trying to go for the same goals that I was, or on the same path that I was, and to have that support and that motivation every day from people in a challenge group, that helped me reach my goals physically. And then again, as a coach, like I said, with Marcel joining me and having somebody there that you can talk to, that you can grow with, and that you can build your business and your financial freedom, there's no better feeling than doing that. And again, making that decision with somebody and growing with them, it's huge. Putting your fear in the past, that was a big thing for me. A lot of my family comes from different owning your business backgrounds or direct sales. And I let that hold me back. I have seen a lot of my family fail in different ways in their businesses, and I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to do it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to one that was going to be able to make something succeed. And to be honest, my husband didn't support the business aspects of it. He didn't fight me on it, but he wasn't my biggest supporter. So for me, I kind of took that and made it a motivation to push past my fear. But basically, Beachbody helped me in more ways than one. I didn't have a huge transformation story with the programs, but Shakeology helped me. It saved my life, to be honest. It's the whole reason I am here, and that everybody on this team call, it all started because Shakeology helped me. I had really bad migraines. I had really low blood sugar. I was having a lot of health issues, and my naturopath recommended Shakeology to me. Within a week, I started feeling my headaches go away. I didn't have afternoon crashes. I wasn't all shaky and jittery. And a month later, when I went to my doctor's appointment, I realized for the first time in probably 4 years, I didn't have to refill my prescription. So for me, for a lot of people, it's your transformation. For me, it was what Shakeology did for me. I was able to push past my fear because I could share how Beachbody had helped me through Shakeology. And I did have a good results with Insanity, which was my first program. So then I was able to share those at a later date because Shakeology gave me the proper nutrition and the kickstart I needed so that I could make it through Insanity. Now I can share financially what it's done for me. I did real estate full-time for several years, and it pretty much ran me into the ground. I burnt myself out. I was doing everything with I had a almost 2-year-old and a newborn at home. And I was working, 60 hours a week, probably, if not more sometimes, ruining vacations, everything, because I was always working. And I have been able to completely replace that income and put real estate on the back burner so that I could build this business. And it allowed me to do that financially. So I am able to share that. So whatever Beachbody has done for you, share that. Don't let it hold you back. That leads me to my next one. If Mandy had not have shared with me, even then was just the discount opportunity to be a coach, because she knew I just wanted Shakeology. So she offered me the discount. And for me, I'm really frugal, so I was thinking 25%, I'll take it because I was really nervous already to spend the amount. So I did that. And then she knew how much that savings meant to me. So she offered, Whitney, what if you got 3 other people to try Shakeology? If you get 3, it's free. And for me, again, being frugal, I was like, heck yes, I'm going to take that. And that's kind of how it got started. But I look back now, if Mandy would not have shared that with me, if she would have been too scared and held back from saying, hey, Whitney, if you can sign up as a coach to get the discount, if she wouldn't have done that, just being scared that I would tell her no, I don't know where my life would be. My life has changed dramatically since I started Beachbody. So let that be a huge testimony. When I was writing this bullet point, that really hit home with me. That if she wouldn't have shared that with me, I don't know where my life would be right now. So I'm extremely thankful. So don't hold back. If you have somebody you think is going to be good, or somebody who may want a discount, or you have an awesome challenger, offer them the coach opportunity. I am going to hand it back over to Marcel. Maybe I can figure out where my screen went. I don't know where it went. There we go. Did it stop yet?
Yes. Okay. Awesome.
I don't know where it went.
It's like the 2 least technologically advanced girls in charge of this. All right.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a techie to be a good coach. Okay. All right. Let's head over back to my slide. Okay. All right, you guys. I think, can you see that, Whit? Everyone good? Can I get a thumbs up, please?
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Brandy. Thanks. Okay, all right, so how to approach people about coaching. So I know that this is a scary thing to do because, well, first of all, we're just scared people are going to say no. We're scared that people are going to judge us. But, there is such a simple way to do this. And this is what I really wanted to kind of bring to you guys. I am a huge fan of simplicity. I don't want to overcomplicate things. I tend to, which is why I'm a big fan of being simple. And so that's really kind of the approach we're going to take during this, is to simply simplify how you approach people. Really, what's important is to make it about them. So I really think that some of the best coaches come from my challenge groups. Not always, because I do have some other coaches that were not in any of my challenge groups, but I think this is probably the best approach to take, and this is what we're going to talk about. And that is to make it about them. So I know all of you guys probably either have challengers or friends or family who is that motivating, encouraging person. And what I have found is when you do make it about them, and when you do encourage them, and when you really support who they are, it's much easier to approach this subject to them. Because when you stop thinking to yourself, well, if I get this person to be a coach, then I'm going to rank advance, or I'm going to make more money, or whatever. The second you start getting money hungry or greedy, it's not going to work, because people are going to see right through that. So if you are physically, literally trying to help someone, if you think that they could be blessed by the coaching opportunity, then there's no reason why you should be holding that back. I want you to think about all the things that in your life that you've been blessed by in Beachbody. Maybe it's financially, maybe it's physically, maybe it's emotionally, maybe it's the community, whatever it is. Why would you want to hold that back? I know many of you have transformation stories. And I know a lot of you that are, making an extra income for your family or for yourself. And if you have the opportunity to share that with people with them in mind, by making it about them, you will win every time. It will be a win-win situation. So what to say to someone that you think would be a great coach? Exactly that. This comes back to simplify. I have a lot of challengers. There's a couple of people that I actually have in mind that when I had them in challenge groups, it was literally day one. And I was like, this girl is going to be a phenomenal coach. And you have to just be honest about that. Like, don't hold back. Be bold. Be honest. People want to hear that you're paying attention to them. People want to hear that you're seeing those good qualities in them. So you should just say, I think you would be a phenomenal coach, because you know what coaching means. It's not a get rich job. You know that this is a relationship building type of business. So when you see someone that does have those qualities in themselves to be a great coach, there's no reason to hold that back. So things that I have said before is, you really should think about becoming a coach. You really are a natural. And I actually have a newer coach. She's not able to be on tonight, but I have a newer coach, and I knew from the get-go. By the way, she didn't even purchase a challenge pack from me. She was one of those Amazon, eBay girls, but she came to me and was like, please let me be in your challenge group. And I was like, I can't say no to that. And, day one, day two, she was fired up. She was committed. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to say anything now. She's going to think I'm crazy. But I thought to myself, this girl is going to make a great coach. And sorry, guys. And now she's a coach, but it's keeping your eye out and being honest with them and letting them know. And so I did approach her about a week and a half in. She started to have phenomenal results. And I wanted her to know that I was really impressed with her. And this is coming from a genuine place, not because I wanted to recruit a coach, but because I truly thought that she could inspire other people. I knew that she had a crazy workload. She worked a lot of hours, and I thought in the back of my head, maybe this could be a great situation for her. Small child at home. And so I just came to her and I said, you know what? You are super impressive. Like, it's rare to find someone like you. Have you ever thought about being a coach? And she goes, yeah, I'm not really the coach type. And I was like, yeah, not yet. And that kept going for a couple of weeks, and now she's actually a coach. But I was just honest with her and said, I think you're fantastic. I think you'd be really good at this. And that's all you can really do. People have scripts, which are great and whatnot, which are kind of these lines I have here for you. But I think script takes away the authenticity of what you're saying to somebody. But if you can think about how it's going to benefit them, then you need to think about that when you think about the approaching process, rather than what am I going to gain? It's more of how can I help this person and how is this going to benefit them? So to go back and tell them why you think they're amazing. Like, what made you think of them? What qualities have they shown you that make you think they would be a great coach? So examples like they're highly encouraging in a challenge group. They're motivating, they're dedicated, they're getting awesome results, because that shows that they are proof of the product, and that they see our products as very valuable. They have a positive attitude. And I wrote already into health and fitness because I know that there's a lot of people, and I think Whitney, I might be speaking for her, but she never physically asked me if I wanted to be on her team. But she did tell me later that I was on her list because she knew I was a runner. She knew I was an entrepreneur. And so I guess that's kind of a good example, is that I was already into that kind of stuff. And you probably have people like that in your life already that may not be in a challenge group, but they have those qualities. All these qualities that I'm listing here. Maybe they're already posting healthy recipes. Maybe they're already posting their workouts. There's people that do that, and I'm just like, you could be making money doing this. And you got to watch out for those people and approach them about this for the same reasons that we just talked about. Why would they be amazing? And don't overcomplicate it. Complicated. It's getting late. Complicate it. Just tell them why they could be amazing, and then let it go from there. And just ask them if they've ever thought about being a coach. And that's really as simple as it goes in that aspect there. So again, going back to the fear, I know that the fear gets in the way. And so I want to kind of talk about how to ease into the conversation comfortably. And the reason why I'm going into details about this is because I overanalyze everything. And I know that there's some other people that probably do the same thing. So I'm kind of breaking it down a little bit. So first of all, tell him or her why you think they made a great coach. We just talked about that. People love compliments. All right. Be genuine. Now, I would not tell someone in one of my challenge groups that was not showing up in my challenge group, that, worked out like 3 days out of 30, that posted, once every week. I would not approach them about being a coach, because that's where that comes that self-gain and that greed thing. I'm not looking to just add coaches to add coaches. Some coaches might have a business model like that. I don't. I want quality over quantity. And that doesn't mean that you can't have discount coaches. That's fine too. But be genuine with the people that you're actually approaching. Because if you have someone like that, the 3 out of 30 days person, and you're saying, hey, you'd be a phenomenal coach, you know in your gut that that's wrong because it's not true. And then that's where it gets kind of icky, right? So when you start the conversation off, I love to include other topics. Now I'm going to explain myself a little bit because I think this is something that people get really hung up on. And you need to think about if you're passionate and you're strong-willed about what you do as a coach, that will come out. Like, I feel like it comes out of my pores when I talk to people, and I almost talk too fast because I really, really love what I do. But that can come across as kind of creepy sometimes. So it's important to add other aspects to the conversation. And I put an example here because this is a way that I have approached people. One, because it's genuine, and two, I want them to feel at ease that I'm not trying to push anything on them. It's because I truly think they can benefit from it. So I'd say, hey, Sarah, you were honestly a very, very motivating person. And this is, in a challenge group. I love your positivity. You are rocking the program. I'm so proud of how far you've come. You're a total natural and you have a drive about you. I really think you'd be a great coach. Have you ever thought about it? And then in the same, conversation, add something about them. I hope you guys enjoy your vacation next week. Looks like fun, and I know how excited you are. So that creates a sense of positivity and comfort because you're not just shoving this, you don't want them to feel like you're shoving this opportunity in their face. It shows that you are adding value to the conversation. You're paying attention to their life, and you're ending it on something that is very comfortable. And if you notice this entire paragraph here, it's all about them. Never did you say, I want you to be part of my business. If you join my team, I'll get to 1-star diamond or ruby or whatever it is. You were making this 100% about them. Do you see how many compliments are in there? And I want to put another disclaimer. If you're going to do this, you better mean it. But there's so many compliments in here. And then you're also talking about their vacation. So I hope that makes sense. But adding another piece to the conversation adds that sense of comfort and trust so people don't think you're simply just trying to get them to do something, okay? All right, on to our next subject here, how to own and lead your team. Again, we're going to keep it simple here. We're going to set an example. So one of my favorite quotes is, be the coach that you wish you had. Be the upline that you would like to have. So if you are following the 3 vital behaviors, then your team is most likely going to be following the 3 vital behaviors. Now, I want to back up for a second here. There might be some of you that may only have 1 coach or 2 coach or 3 or whatever, and then there's some of you that have larger teams. But if you are setting an example for your team, no matter how many coaches you have, they're going to fall in line behind you. Of course, if they're trying to build a business here. I'm not necessarily discussing the discount coaches here, but if you're following the 3 vital behaviors, so will they. If you're making Success Club a priority, so will they. Because if you don't, they won't. They're looking to you for that guidance. They're looking to you to be that example. And if you have these grand visions of this great team and you have this dream team that you want, yet you're not even doing the minimum, you got to do a reality check here. Don't expect your team to do the work if you aren't doing it yourself. Because I think there's I know people get scared when they think about building a team, but I'll tell you there's a sense of accountability that goes along with it. And it's the same with your challenge groups. When you have that team or that group that you're leading or you're with, it makes you want to work harder. At least it does for me. So I would rather eat dirt with worms and boogers than not hit Success Club, because my team would be like, what the heck are you doing? Like, there's no way I would not hit Success Club. And it's such an important thing for you to do in order to lead your team. You need to make sure you're running challenge groups consistently. Why? So you can hit Success Club. So you can continue to build your team. Because if you're not hitting Success Club, you're not building that momentum, you're not adding new people into your network, you're not actually working as a coach if you're not running challenge groups. So again, be your ideal coach. You attract who you are. If you're a hard worker, if you're passionate about your job, you're going to attract those people, and your team's going to see that as well. Connect with your team. This is a really, really important thing, and I want to kind of have an honesty moment here and confess something. my first year kind of sucked, only because I thought that I could probably recruit a bunch of coaches. They would just do their thing, and then we would build this beautiful empire. Because I wasn't really investing into my personal development. I wasn't really investing myself in the business. Not to say that I didn't have good intentions, because I was still hitting Success Club, but I was a crappy leader. All right. And for all the coaches that have been with me in my first year, I'm now a little over 2 years now. I'm sorry, but I have learned recently in the past year and a half that it is so important to connect with your team. And I would not be where I am. I would not have the life that I have without my team. And it's so important to connect with your team. Get on the phone with your coaches. I don't care if you have 1 or 2 coaches, 3, 4, 50, whatever it is. Get on the phone with them. Get to know them. Make those connections. Because yes, you're an individual coach, but you can't do this without a team. Making sure that you're asking your team questions about themselves. Get to know them. Get to know their goals. What kind of coach do they want to be? I learned in a brutal way that some coaches like recognition and some really don't. And I wasn't doing a whole lot of giving recognition. I was very solely focused my first year. And I was like, I got to hit Success Club. I got to hit Success Club. Great. You want to be a coach? Awesome. Come in. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. But I wasn't really being the leader that I am now. I look back to my first year to where I am now, I'm a completely different team leader, completely different coach. And it was, once I started making those connections with my team, things changed big time, like huge. You got to know what your coach's fears are, because again, even if you have one coach, you are a leader. Don't wait until you're diamond to start being a leader. The second somebody trusts in you to guide them in this business, you are a leader, and that's a responsibility that you take on. So get to know their fears, because we all have them. And if you can't help them push past those fears, it's not going to be the greatest experience for them, nor is it going to help you build your team as well. So helping them reach their goals is really where I turned my focus. Because sure, do I want to move up in rank and make more money? Absolutely. Because I would love to be more financially free with a job I love. That's just a dream situation, right? But it can't be all about us. You have to help your team reach their goals. And when you're helping your team reach their goals, everyone wins. It's such a phenomenal switch to make, is making sure that you are connecting with your team and that you're creating the culture that is your team. Getting them started right. As my team knows, I did a huge overhaul in my getting started right process probably about 5 or 6 months ago. And I started being very systematic about it. With duplication processes, but helping those coaches getting started right. We all know that when you first become a coach, you're like, yay, I'm a coach. Now what do I do? Like, you're all excited and then you don't know what the heck to do. You're looking at Melanie Mitro. You're looking at Amy Silverman. You're looking at, Anita Meyer and all these top 10 coaches. And you're like, I should do what they're doing. Oh, I should do what they're doing. No, you shouldn't be as a new coach. It's important that you as an upline and as a newer coach connect with your upline coach and really focus one-on-one on helping getting started. So leaders, helping your new coaches write their first post. I did this, and probably a lot of you did this too. So it's okay, because we live and learn, but how many of you probably made an announcement on Facebook that said, guess what, everybody? I'm a Beachbody coach. Here's my link. And everyone probably went, no, because that says salesperson all over your face, right? So my team knows that I help them write their first post to avoid that. And we craft stories together. We craft posts. I just had a brand new coach that had a phenomenal transformation story, and I helped her write her first post, and I think she's going to hit Success Club by tomorrow. And she just signed up a few days ago. So make sure that you're helping them get their foot in the door, dip their toe in the water, whatever you want to call it, because that first step is so scary. Help them with inviting scripts, because that's scary as well. Help them write their contact list. Whatever it is that is action oriented that you can do for new coaches to get actually into the ring. All right. It's really important to meet them where they are in their lives. And this goes back to making sure that you know what kind of coach that they are. If you have a hobby coach, then you're going to approach them a little bit differently. If you have a business builder, you're going to sprint with them. These are the coaches that want to hit Success Club 10 in their first 2 weeks, and that's great. Meet them where they are and run with them. If they want to walk, walk. If they want to run, run. If they want to sit, fine, let them sit. But help them where they're stuck. And this is one of my very first questions that I always ask when I get on one-to-one calls with my coaches. Where are you stuck? What can I help you with? And we work through those things, whether it's social media, going through their Facebook page and trying to figure out, okay, what's missing? What could we improve upon? How are things looking to the public eye? Or maybe it's, hey, I'm terrified to invite people. Great. Then help them with a really good either post idea or one-on-one invite. So there's so many things that even if you aren't a diamond coach or a star diamond coach, there's things that you know, or at least you can help them find to help them get started. And then, of course, provide the resources that are given to you. So I provide so many resources and tools to my team for a duplication system, because my goal is to make it as easy as possible so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm sure you guys have heard that a million times, but don't reinvent the wheel. You as a leader, either you have it from your upline. Obviously, it's probably either Whitney or I or someone from one of our teams. But you have the resources from your upline, pass them on. I mean, literally copy paste. There's no reason that you need to reinvent anything if it's working. So duplicate, duplicate, duplicate as a leader and pass that on, because the best gift you can give your new coaches is teaching them how to do something so they can then teach their coaches, because that creates a strong downline. Team calls. Again, even if you only have 2 coaches, do a little 3-person call. See what their fears are. See where they are in their business. See if they have any questions. Connection, connection, connection with your team is so important. Help them believe in themselves, because I think you guys know that it's easy to get into this business and then kind of lose focus, especially if you aren't having that connection with your team or your upline. But one of the things that when I have coaches, they start to get to a point where they either get frustrated or they get burnout, I ask them, why did you begin this in the first place? What made you want to do this? Go back in time and tell me why you wanted to become a coach. And that starts that fire again. That starts that passion again. So help them believe in themselves and teach them the basics. Hitting Success Club, we talked about that. Following the 3 vital behaviors. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. That's why we have the 3 vital behaviors. And I'll be honest, when I feel stuck, because we all do, I go right back to the 3 vital behaviors. Like, done deal. There's nothing else I need to do. We could add in our 4th vital behavior, which is share our journey on social media, but teach them the basics. You teach them the basics, they teach the rest of their downline the basics. Recognition, this is huge, and I love to do this for my team. And it doesn't have to be just rank advancements or Success Club, but it is important to do those. But to congratulate them on maybe they sold their first challenge pack, because that can be really scary for new coaches. Congratulating them on their very first challenge pack sold, or maybe when they start their own challenge group, or maybe when they conquer a fear. I know that there's coaches that struggle with opening up in social media. I mean, I think a lot of us do, but there's particular coaches that I've worked with that kind of struggle with opening up on social media. And when they have a really good post and they really put themselves out there, that's something to be rewarded upon, to be, to congratulate them on that, because that's huge and it only brings the team closer so you can learn from each other. So sharing and congratulating people on their small victories and recognizing them for the little things they're doing in their business are just as important as the big things. Okay. Oh, oops. Okay. All right. So I want to pass it back over to Whitney, who is going to talk about what not to do.
Bear with me. Okay. Everything's frozen, Marcel. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe tell me if you can see it, because my computer's frozen.
I can't see anything. I just see all of us. Can you just read it without sharing it?
Yeah, well, everything's just one big ball. They're like frozen over each other. So 1 second. Okay, can you see that? Okay. So again, I'm going to touch on a lot of stuff that Marcel just said, but we're going to go over some of the things not to do as a coach. A lot of this is going to go back to social media for me, because that's how a lot of us build our business. But this is how I built 98% of my business was on Facebook. So I'm going to just kind of go over, as a new coach, I, like Marcel said, about 6 months ago or so, revamped my welcome email. And I've included a ton of training, and I really just kind of put things in order how I wanted it to be. And that way it would tell me right away from the get-go what the level that coach is at, if they want to be a discount coach, if they want to build, if they want to ease into it. So I have a better idea. Our team has grown really big, really quick, especially in this last year. So we kind of had to find some ways to simplify it. And I take a really big responsibility, and my heart gets really big for the people who say, you know, here I am, I want to build this business. So what I love is getting you guys all that information right away. But I want to encourage all new coaches, and even coaches that have been here for a while, or you're looking to get back into it, or you've had a late start, whatever it is, don't wait. You know, reach out to that upline if you haven't already expressed what level you're at as a coach, or if your level has changed, whether it be you want to slow down or you want to step it up. Don't wait. Let your coach know right away so that they know how to help you. So I know if I need to jump on one-on-one calls with you, I do a lot more one-on-one calls now than I do team calls. And that is just because, again, I like to be laser focused on those coaches that are reaching out and asking for help. But I also, like Marcel said, I put all of the tools and resources and information that I have found over my 2.5 years of coaching in our team page under the files. And I'm sure Marcel does the same. And if you guys have team pages, I'm sure you guys are all doing that as well. So as a coach, take initiative. Join the trainings that are offered. Marcel offers team calls. My upline has a weekly team call that's on Mondays. The National Wake Up Call is every Monday morning. Take that initiative and join those trainings. I, again, am over 2.5 years into coaching, and I still get on all of those calls. If I can't make the call, I listen to the recording. I'm kind of like a kid in a candy store when it comes to that. I want to learn from these top coaches, the people who Beachbody's putting in front of us, or even on my direct upline. We've got a couple Millionaires Club coaches. We've got Superstar Diamond coaches. I want to know what they're doing. I want to see the tools that they're using. I want to see whatever it is that they're doing. I want to use it. I want to make it my own, and I want to put that into play and offer it to my team. I also, I didn't have the most involved upline, actually. So I kind of had to take that initiative myself and join trainings, whether that be the team calls that were offered from the big upline, National Wake Up Calls. I started following top coaches, just other coaches that I could relate with. There's a lot of coaches who do business in a way that I wouldn't do. So I don't recommend just following everybody and taking what they're doing. Make sure it connects with what your coaching personality is, or how you see their posts and you think, oh, I really can connect with that. Make it your own. Use that, whether it be, again, any coach, but just take that initiative and go out there and, just start coaching. Don't wait for anything. Again, that fear to hold you back, or wait for somebody to hold your hand every step of the way. What Marcel said is, we're here to help you craft your first post, put your story together. All of that is things that we go over with new coaches. But then I like to encourage my coaches to take that initiative and go do it. Go put it into play, and take that first step. Step up as the CEO of your own business and put those into play. A big thing for me on social media is don't be spammy. Like Marcel said, when you become a new coach and you're like, I'm a coach, here's my link, go order. Or it's really easy to get excited, especially when you're new, when somebody says, hey, yeah, I've been seeing infomercials on the 21-day fix, and you're like, oh, here's my link, go order right here. that's just not me. That's not how I do things. And I think a lot of people are deterred by it. So if you can share your story, how these things have worked for you, and the more you craft your story and the more you share that and put that out there on social media and the more you're vulnerable, the more people are going to relate to you, and the more you're not even going to have to try for that sale, because every day that you post, every post that you're putting out there, you're sharing another step or another page in your story. And it's just continually building that rapport with that person who's following you. Rapport is huge. I literally have had, like today, I had a girl email me and she said, I've been following your story. I just had a baby as well. I just got clearance. I saw your week in. I'm ready to order. I didn't have to do anything, but I have been really, really vulnerable in sharing that since I've had baby number 3, I'm literally starting my fitness journey all over, and I am not happy with where I'm at. And I've shared posts or pictures that I wouldn't normally share. And I get vulnerable and I say it. Sometimes I've cried when I post because I just know that when I'm in this situation, like I'm following other moms who are on their postpartum journey, and I know what it means to see their posts because it encourages me to keep going. And I know I want to be that person for somebody else. So that goes right along with don't hide. Don't hide what you're doing. Don't wait and think, oh, I gotta finish my 21-day fix before I can share anything. I got an awesome opportunity to be in the very first 21-day fix test group before the product was announced. And that really taught me a lot on how to share things without being spammy, but without hiding it as well, because you know, we all are a little bit have that, I want to make sure it's going to work. I want to know what my results are going to be before I share, or I feel like I need to get results before I can be a coach, or whatever it may be. Don't hide it, because people want to see you on that journey. They want to see every step of it. They want to see your struggles. They want to see your highs. They want to celebrate with you. And when you get vulnerable and share when you have a bad day, those people will come out of the woodworks to pick you back up and encourage you. And it's really awesome to build that kind of that following. And again, you can convert those people into challengers who will turn into amazing coaches, especially when they're encouraging you as a coach already before they even join a challenge group. So that was a big lesson for me, is to not hide it, to share the day in, the day out, from your meals, from your workouts, the days you have really crappy days, share it. Don't get dragged down. This can go with your coaches or with your challengers. It's really easy. I kind of feel like I have a bipolar way of coaching. I'm a really straightforward, no excuses kind of person. I'm a go-getter, so I like to express that and put things out and give the tools for my coaches, and I want them to take that initiative and go and do it. But at the same time, I wear my heart on my sleeve. And seeing Marcelle on this journey and going with me, I want that for her. Like, I wanted it so bad, and to see her take this opportunity and run with it was like, my heart was like bursting at the seams. And when I see coaches who take this opportunity and go, or I see coaches who hold back, I want it really bad for them, and not for selfish reasons, not for rank, not for income. I legitimately want them to experience what I'm experiencing. And sometimes I can let that overwhelm me, because I get really invested in coaches and in their success. But if they don't want it, whether it be a timing issue or they're just not as into it as I am, I've had to kind of take that in and not want it more than they do, because you can get dragged down as a coach, hounding your challengers or really trying to encourage them when they're just not checking in and they're not doing their workouts and they're not following the nutrition program. It's really easy to push and to get discouraged when challengers aren't checking in, or they're not giving their all in the challenge groups, because we want it for them. We know it worked for us. We want it to work for them. And then same thing with your coaches. So be there for people, offer that support. When they're putting in their part and you put in yours. I just want to encourage people to just not get discouraged, because it might not be the right time for that person, and they may come around later on. And just let them know that you will be there for them when the time is right, and they will appreciate that you respected that on their end, and then you can also take a big load off of your shoulders. Marcelle, am I going right into the next one, or do you have one after this one?
No, I'm done. I'm good. So let's go ahead and
All right.
wrap it up.
Here. This kind of goes into the same things. I want to talk about making mistakes. I can easily relate to Marcel. My first year of coaching, I didn't have a whole lot of people going with me, but even when I had Marcel, who was an awesome coach and she was just like me, I didn't have a lot that I felt I could offer her because I didn't have anybody offering me that one-on-one support or that training or anything, like a direct upline. I have an upline. She's there. We're good friends. She's just not the best coach, maybe I should say. So I was doing what she was doing, and I wasn't offering much to Marcel or to anybody else who was on my team. And at that point, I apologize. But I learned a lot on my own. But I've also learned that I don't know everything, and I won't ever know everything. Again, here I am 2.5+ years into this, and I'm still learning new things every single day about coaching, about programs, about rank, about everything. But I love to learn. I love this business, so I keep putting it out there. Get vulnerable and be honest. When you are leading your team, I am not a person who will say, I'm a know-it-all, I know everything, come to me, and I do it right. I don't. My coaches ask me questions a lot every day, and I say, let me find out. To be honest, I don't know. So I had to take that being a leader and I always have to know everything. I had to take that off the table because that's not realistic. Especially I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have this business, I have 3 kids, I have a brand new baby. I'm behind in a lot, and my mom brain is a real thing right now. So I have had to be really honest with my team and let them know. I've been MIA for a long time, just trying to get my focus back, but having the baby, a lot has changed, or a lot of new things have come up. So a lot of my leaders have stepped up, and that's been really awesome, but I had to be honest with them. If you're not making mistakes, I feel like you're not leading. If you are trying to lead a team and you're trying to put systems into place and you're doing new things in your business, trial and error, you're going to make mistakes. That happens, but that means that you're pushing forward in your business. That means that you are leading, because we all make mistakes. The number one thing I think all coaches should do, I think any person in the right mind should do, is personal development. When I get in a funk, which I was just telling Marcel, I've really been in one the last week or two for a lot of different reasons, personal development is my go-to. It is the number one way that you're going to grow yourself as a person, as a business owner, as a wife, as a mom. There's personal development for all of it, and it will rock your world. I start to get bogged down or frustrated or burnt out, and I go back to my personal development, and that inspires me. And one thing that I've been doing a lot in my team page the last couple months is sharing a tip of the day, and that comes from my personal development. I read something and it just resonates with me, and it inspires me to put out a post and to share with everybody something that comes from my heart, something that I can relate to and I want to share with others. What you put out there comes back to you. So if you lead with genuine, intentions, your intentions are real, it's going to come back to you. You're going to attract those people that you want to attract. And if you're putting out things that aren't really you, but you're just putting it out to put it out there, you're going to find that sometimes you're going to be connecting with people, and you're just going to be thinking to yourself, yeah, it's not really me. That's a good way to look back at what you've been putting out and think about what you need to change, or how a new way that you can represent yourself. And that was one of the things that I got honest with Marcel, and I didn't know how to put out. I feel like my life's really boring right now. I'm just at home. I have the baby. I feel like I'm not doing much. And Marcel's like, no. She had to snap me out of that. So I had to think about what I need to be putting out there, that, being a mom of 3 and with a new baby and building this business, and that flexibility that I have, and that I feel blessed to be able to be here with my kids. And it's that 6-week mark right now, and I don't have to go back to work. So those are all things that I have to share. So what you're putting out there, it's going to come back to you. I hear people all the time, new coaches all the time, challengers. I don't know if I want to do it because I'm scared that I'm going to fail. The only way, the absolute only way to fail in this business is quit. That's it. There's no other way. You can't fail, because every time you make a mistake, where some people would say, oh, I failed because of this. No, it's a mistake. You can move on. You can learn from it. You can grow from it. The only way is when you throw in the towel and say, you know what, it didn't work for me. That's the only way in my eyes that you can fail at this business. And I can tell you, between myself, Marcel, my leaders, Marcel's leaders, you have a really awesome group of women around you who will encourage you and support you, and who are going to be the most forgiving people you will ever meet, because we've been there. You know, we all have bad days or weeks, and we all make mistakes, but we are all here to encourage one another and to push you and to lift you up and to let you know you're going to be okay. And so I just want to encourage you to reach out. And one thing I read today and I shared with one of my teams, and it's not on here, but I just thought I would share it, is I am a very Ruby personality. I'm very competitive. And a lot of times I've let that kind of get in my way, but I have learned very quickly, and it's very humbling, that sometimes somebody who you get into your downline is going to really take this business and run with it. And you know what? They might surpass you in this business. And I wouldn't be surprised when Marcel blows past me. And initially I would be like, oh no, girlfriend. But it lights a fire in me to want to do more, to want to grow, but I could not want it more for anybody else to see Marcel take this and run with it. I see coaches who signed up the same time I did, and they're way past me in this business, and I use it as motivation. It does get me fired up, and I can get a little sassy sometimes, but I'm so excited, and it is a humbling experience, but you want that for your team. You want somebody to come on and to just get it and to see them have a huge success with this business. So don't let that scare you either. Don't let it intimidate you, whether it be somebody who you think, wow, they're going to come on and they're going to blow past me, or you see a coach really building momentum and go, let them run with it, because it's really stinking awesome. And if you're anything like me, it serves as a real good source of motivation on a daily basis. So I will leave you with that, and we are going to go into Q&A.
All right. Thanks, Whit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys, I know it's late. Thank you for hanging in there, but this was a dual team call, which meant you get double the fun, which means double the time. So I wanted to open it up and see if anyone had any questions, whether they're technical questions on how do I do this, how do I do that, or if you just want to say something. You don't have to. This is just, I do this on my team sometimes and just let people talk a little bit. And so I do want to keep it somewhat brief, because we have people that are yawning, and I'm one of them. And so I want to make sure we keep it brief, but if someone has a question, now's the time.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
I'll make them fast.
And by the way, welcome Brandy. She's one of our newer coaches. Yay!
I'm super excited.
And she's here tonight.
I'm super happy. I'm very, very happy. I'm learning a lot. My brain's like, woo, going so many ways, but it's really great.
Good.
My first question is you had mentioned to put something in, this is a technical question, on the profile page to utilize those banners on the profile, on your profile. What exactly do you put on the banners?
Okay, so Brandy's actually referring to something that we talked about on my team page. So if you guys are confused, this is why. It's okay. So Brandy, I will probably connect with you on that.
Oh,
just so I don't have to explain to everyone what we're talking about. So I'll connect with you on that, and we'll talk more about that. Okay. And what's your other question?
What is the best way to balance Facebook posts? Like sharing your personal information. What I kind of fear that thing where people read, oh geez, okay, fine, I've already heard enough about this, or
right.
Why do I care about that, or oh, here she goes again on her health and nutrition stuff.
Right.
How do I balance that out to keep people interested?
Okay, good question. Really good question. My favorite rule of thumb is like a 75-25 rule. I know a lot of people say 80-20, and I don't agree with that. So when my favorite quote for this business is share, not sell. Because once we start selling, we start to become the Mary Kays of the business. No offense to anyone who did Mary Kay, but it's a completely different business than Beachbody, and you know that. Excuse me. Sharing your the way that this business has changed your life, whether that be physically, emotionally, financially, whatever that is for you, is something that you should be really excited about. And by sharing that, you take away the salesy part of it. And so I always talk about this business and how lucky I feel to be part of this business, whether it's talking about how excited I am to see all of you guys tonight, or whether it's I'm excited that I have reached a different physical goal, in my workouts, or whatever it is. When you hear the word share and you stick to that motto of sharing, I don't think there's really a way someone's going to get sick of that. When you are posting pictures of Shaun T or Autumn or Tony Horton and you're saying, this is on sale or whatever, that's when it starts to get really annoying. And I know a lot of you probably know other coaches like that. Hey, I've made those mistakes too. I'm not an angel here. But when you are sticking to your own personal story, the sharing part takes away from that icky sales part. But to go back to what the balance is that you are who you are. You are not a walking billboard for Beachbody. Nobody is. And you shouldn't be. All right? You have your own brand. And that brand is who you are. Maybe you're a mom. I know, Brandy, you have several children. A runner, there's things about each of us that are different. And so when you share every aspect of your life, but you allow Beachbody to kind of wind into that, then it really shows people what you're doing in a very classy and non-pushy kind of way. Does that answer your question a little bit better?
It does. I
Okay.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else?
I have a question
Yay!
about coaching, about what we talked about. So I have a potential coach. She is phenomenal, probably the most inspiring challenger I've personally ever worked with.
I know who you're talking about.
She has 100 pounds to lose. She's given herself a year. She bought the challenge pack. She's in my second challenge group in a row. Amazing. She comments on everybody's posts.
Okay.
And she's a personal friend. I want to work with her as a coach. I am struggling. At what point do I approach her about it? Because it's not like she has vanity pounds to lose. She has 100 pounds to lose.
Okay.
And I've shared, I don't want to throw off her game. You know what I mean? Because when I became a coach, I gained a few pounds. It was just kind of a crazy time in my life where I had a hard time balancing my personal goals with now a new business. And so I just want to know your opinion.
Okay. Well, first of all, you should have approached her last challenge group.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
You know what? This goes back to what I just talked about, Jennifer. Be honest with her. Simplify this. Don't overcomplicate it. Tell her what you just told us. Right? Why are you inspired by her? Because she's dedicated, because she's hardworking, because she's trying to change her life. That's all you need to tell her, because what she has going on could inspire so many other people. Okay, there's some of us that maybe want to lose 10 to 25 pounds or whatever. If you think about and I no pun intended, but the weight of the mindset you got to have to lose 100 pounds, that's a lot. That's a challenge put in front of you. And if this woman is taking on that challenge, the rest of the world needs to be inspired by her. This is, seriously. So I would be 100% honest with her and say, you know what? I think that you are a phenomenal person. I think you're driven. I think that you're dedicated. I love your positivity in this challenge group. And I know that your journey could inspire so many people. And I love this company. I love Beachbody so much. I want to share it with you. I want us to be a team. I want to grow a team with you. That's what I would tell her. There's no story. There's no script I can help you with. You got to be honest with her, because you know that it probably most likely will actually push her forward and fuel her forward if she knows that she can help other people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need a script. Although what you said was amazing. I just,
Did you write it down?
but I just, what's so funny? It's like the story of my life. Like, I'm afraid, the fear. I just don't want to, okay, here's the deal. To be honest, I want to win the Beachbody Challenge with her. And I don't want to throw her off her game. Like, she could take the full prize.
That's good. That's good. So what do you mean? What are you afraid of?
What if you approach it as just start having her share her story on Facebook and then people will start responding to that. And then somebody might ask her, like, what are you doing? And then she's going to say, and you can be like, well, why don't, instead, like, make it her idea instead of your idea. Like, just ask her, say, I think you could inspire people. Start sharing your story just a little bit, maybe once, a little bit at a time. And people will start asking, what are you doing? What are you doing? And they're going to want to do it. And she's going to be like, these people are coming to me. What do I say? And you're say, well, guess what? Sign up as a coach.
I'll talk to her about it.
There's a lot behind somebody feeling like somebody believes in them enough to say, I think you could be amazing at this. That could fuel her even more to push further. So many people say I become a coach because I think it's going to hold me more accountable. That may be the case for her, but you letting her know that you know how amazing she would be, it could do a whole lot for that lady's confidence.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, ladies.
Sure.
All right. I have a question. Okay, real quick. Maybe, I don't know if anybody else struggles with this, but I feel like I don't have a problem sharing my story. I'm very open. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I post, about my past and my stuff with Beachbody, but I feel like I'm past that now. Does that make sense? Like my transformation story with Beachbody. And when I talk about it, I feel like I dredge that up for myself personally. And also I've talked about it so much. Like, I feel like I need to like revamp my story, I guess. Does that make sense? And like, how do I just feel like I've shared everything. Like, I don't feel like I have anything left to share. Like, I've put it all out there. So I don't know. I just feel kind of stuck right now.
I get what you're saying, but you just answered your own question. You have to continuously revamp yourself. And I mean that by different angles, because you still face challenges on a daily basis. There might be a morning where you don't want to get up and work out. You are starting to build a pretty large team. And so talking about the team building process is another way to take it. So I think you need to look at it from a different angle, because you do have a really good story. You have the emotional transformation. You had a really good physical transformation. So it's just a matter of changing your vantage point on that, I think. And also being aware of the small challenges you have, not so much focusing on only the big, which I know that you have done, which has been great. We all should. But maybe now that you've put that out there, and don't forget to do that too, like continuously share your story. You got to do that, every few weeks or whatever, is to continue to tell people who you are and what you've been through, but just take a different angle at it. Does that make sense?
All right. Sorry, I had to get soap. Yes. Yeah, no, I get it. I just feel like I don't want to tell that story anymore. Like, I'm done with it.
That's what I'm saying. Find a different way
Yeah,
to...
make a new story.
Go ahead, Whitney.
I said make a new story. I mean, have you reached your maximum potential of where you want to be physically? And one thing I'm actually really not good at is putting on my page the business side of this opportunity. And I mean, that's a really big part, especially if you're building a team. Be better at sharing that story about how your team is growing, or how you build your team, or what parts of building a team that you love. That could be a whole nother story for you. Personal development for me can lead me down another story of, making my own story of something else, because it motivates me to do something different in my life.
Take that, kid.
Unless you're where you're at,
Yeah.
you're 100% happy, which to me, I mean, I think we all can grow every day to something new. Then I think you can craft a new story out of something.
Yeah. No, I'm going to work on that and just write something new. So thank you.
Sure.
But can you remind people why you started doing this? What was your initial goal? Have you brought that up recently?
Good point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, then, yeah, Marcel gets annoyed with me because I did it because she wouldn't stop bothering me about it.
She likes to say that, and then she's like, "Thank you so much." I knew what was good for you,
About
Lindsay.
that?
I knew that you would benefit from this.
Yeah.
And share that again. I mean, there's one of the ladies who's in our up line. She's in the Millionaires Club. One of her coaches is a 2-time superstar diamond in a Millionaires Club, and she signed up as a favor so that coach could go emerald. We all get started for different reasons, but look at what it did for her. So be honest and share, what, I did this because Marcel was making me crazy, and holy cow, I could not.
But that makes me look bad, all right?
Yeah.
Because Marcel knew what was good for me.
Exactly. There you go. That's a good way to spin it.
Marcel encouraged me to do this.
It just seems like if you're bored of your story, I think, like, obviously I'm very brand new at this, but for some reason in my head I have all these answers to questions, just not my own. And it comes back to personal development. If you're bored with your story, then I would want to go back and progress in some area. And I know that whatever I'm currently learning about, or something that I find on the internet, or something that gets me excited, that's the newest thing. That's what I want to share with people.
Yeah.
So just taking that newest personal development and integrating that into your original story. Building on it.
That's a very, very good point. And I do that. And I forgot to bring that up, but that's a great point, is I know when I feel stuck, I go straight to my personal development. And I figure out, okay, what else can I work on, or what inspires me? And then you come up with something and how that affects you. And I think that's where a lot of people get motivation from, is when you share your own motivation. So I've done that many, many times. Thank you for coming up with that, Brandy. You're going to be running your own team call soon, Miss Brandy.
I really like this. I don't know what it is, but I really like it. So it's you. It's got to be you.
Thanks.
I was going to add the gal that I was telling you about. She and I are longtime friends, and I asked her, I just messaged her tonight, and I said, Jamie, I want to know, why did you choose to work with me? I just needed some feedback because I've been kind of stuck and not going forward. And one of the reasons she said was because of your own personal story.
Ah.
And I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have a huge transformation.
We all do. No, we all do.
Well, I mean, not a physical one.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be physical.
So that was kind of powerful feedback for me. It's like, oh, I guess there is kind of power in your own story.
Absolutely. I mean, will you write this stuff down? This is my team. This is what I deal with. I love it. All right. So it's getting late here. Maybe we'll go 1 or 2 more questions if anyone has any. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. I know we went a little longer than normal, but I'm really excited to bring these two teams together, and be able to kind of see some faces. I've seen a lot of names, but it's really cool to bring people together, and this team only grows. And I know for me, like, I'm probably missing like 15 people tonight that usually are in team calls. But that's okay. It's you do what you can, and that's why we recorded it. So thank you guys again. If you have any questions, you can, my team post in the page. I will post the recording soon, which I will send to Whitney, what she will post in her team page. So thank you guys tonight, and have a good night. Bye.
Bye.